Moshe Rabbeinu came down from Mount Sinai and said, you did something really wrong, committed a terrible sin, and you're all going to be destroyed, but I prayed and saved you. And there's still a lot left to do. You're still in real trouble. So I have to go back and pray for another 40 days and 40 nights. And then God forgave the people. Now, let's say you were weak of faith. How do you know Moshe Rabbeinu was telling you the truth? There was a Meshuggah lady a few years ago in Mapei Shemesh, one of those Brooklyn ladies. So when she was arrested for, doing some sort of terrible thing, which she was accused, she said that she needs to go back and, pray and protect the city because hers is a klus that protects the entire city. And they're destroying, they're hurting the city by not letting her do what she's doing. So my question is, how are the people supposed to believe Moshe Rabbeinu? He told them, you were going to die, and I prayed and saved you. See? Big. That's all in his head, isn't it? Well, how do they know he's telling the truth in this case? I know you should believe Moshe Rabbeinu, but how did they know? How come to them they realized the gravity of the thing? Just told them, yeah, you're going to die, and I saved you, and now I have to pray even more. What indications do they have? And I believe that the indication is quite simple. They were getting sick. God smote the people. So he gave them plagues. When people realized that God was angry at them, they could see a plague forming. They could see suddenly, well, their children, people who were suddenly, everybody's coming out with fever. Everybody has a certain particular cough. It looks like something's about to happen. And then it didn't, right? Or everybody started feeling queasy or something like that. Like the sota, she drinks the water, right? And then suddenly the effects start to happen, if she's guilty, of course. So too, says Moshe Rabbeinu, what did he do? What does it say he did when he came down from Mount Sinai? Rashi points this out. It says he ground up the egel and he cast it into the water from the stream that was coming down from Mount Sinai, and he made the Jewish people drink it. Huh? A little bit, grind up gold and drink water. There are people who Meshuggahs who do that nowadays. Rich people who have too much money. We discussed this before. They have gold sprinkles. Real gold can be eaten. You know that? So it just gets flushed down the toilet, literally. But that's what they do. You want real golden sprinkles on your cupcake. So they have that for you if you're willing to spend money on it, right? So Moshe Rabbeinu ground up this gold and made them drink the water. What did that do? So the answer is, it's sort of like a test. It would test the people. So they felt it. They drank this water and they realized, oh man, something's about to happen to us. This isn't good. They felt it inside. They felt it quite literally in their bones, in their stomach. They knew what was going on. So when Moshe Rabbeinu told them, you've committed a terrible sin, it's only because I intervened, I saved you, they felt it. They knew it. Just like what happened with the spies. When they were told by Moshe Rabbeinu, you just blew it. And the next day they repented of their sin. They said, okay, now we're ready to go. It was overnight that they cried about the spies. It was overnight that the Gezerah was made. And the next morning they were already repented. But they knew that they had a reason to repent. Why? Because the second Moshe Rabbeinu said that God's angry at them and won't help them. And now they're going to be staying in the desert for 40 years. Well, 38 more years. So they realized that something was wrong. They felt it. So too also here. They felt it just like the Sota feels it. They knew Moshe Rabbeinu was telling the truth. Yeah, it's kind of scary. What are we going to say about that? Anything else that needs to be added? Oh yeah, how big was the golden calf? It escapes me now. I went looking into this before. You see that Micah's image was actually about the size of this bottle. You can see it says how many silver shkalim he used. You can find the weight of that thing in the mass. It's basically Micah's image was this. And we don't even know what the image was. It might not have been anything significant. It's just you're not allowed to have any form of image in the synagogue. Basically, he had a synagogue. It looked like this room, like synagogues have always looked. Except if you look closely in front, next to the Aron, there was this silver thing. So someone asked me, wait a minute, don't we make images in our synagogues? Don't we have Magen Davids made to look like gold or gilded or some other color, right? Don't we have menorahs? No, those aren't images of anything. Those are just kalim. What? No, yeah, not only that, they're kalim. They serve a purpose. They're decorative. But for whatever reason, Micah had this. Apparently, the golden calf was really small. When you look into the sources, the golden calf was basically as big as a figurine, a simple calf like this big. And so what? I could hold it with two hands. That's all it was. We were thinking like the movie thing that when the idolaters used to make really big statues, they made it out of wood or stone. Gold and silver are more precious, so they made the smaller ones out of that. The golden calf wasn't that much. It was just a few men gave their gold to build this calf. So it was almost a nothing, but it was still that's good enough to be considered a terrible sin. Right? Just to know, the golden. Yeah, I know, but we're used to we're our ideas about what happened. Yeah, we're thinking like it's actually big size, like like in the Charlton Heston movie. Nothing like that. By the way, to build such a thing would have taken a lot longer than just overnight. Yeah, I know. So you're confusing. We're confusing medrash with shot also, which we shouldn't do.